I was living in Texas at the ranch that Gary and Dane own, and my dog Carol, I'm not proud of it. She is somebody who will run around and basically chase things. And so she chases rabbits and she chases pretty much anything that will run from her. And she also will kill it. So one morning I was supposed to go into the city. And then all of a sudden I saw Carol coming from a really far distance on the ranch. And she came running and she had something dangling out of her mouth. And the really strange thing was she came running all the way up to me and she dropped it in my hand. She had never done that before. She had never given me anything that she had hunted. And so she dropped it in my hand. The second she dropped it in my hand, it realized it was a cat and it was really small and it was alive. I didn't know if he was injured internally, if he didn't bleed, but I had no idea what was going on. So I just held him and I ran some energy on him. And I just basically covered him up and, held him to my chest and just ran energy. And, and after a while, I just kind of, okay, I could perceive that things were getting a little bit easier for the body. And I took him away from my chest and I looked at him and I said, hey, dude, whatever you choose, if it's easier to die, you can do that. If it's easy to live, you can do that. I'm here for you, and I was just holding him in my hand. And the second I said the part about that he could choose to die, he looked at me with this look that I so well know from my cat that I had for 20 years, that had died like 7 years or 8 years prior to this. And I was like, I looked at him and I said, Baba? And I got chills all over my body. And so I got a bucket, I put a towel in there and I put him in the bucket and I put him in a room. It really only took 24 hours before he was climbing all over me, purring for the first time, and really just present with me. And also for about 2 weeks, I really just had him in a separate room and fed him, played with him and all of that. And then I started to take him basically in my arms, and I would introduce him to one dog at a time. One thing is to always take it slow when you're doing something like that, and really get out of the expectations of what this has to look like. And to me, I was also kind of making a demand that, well, not kind of, I was making the demand that everybody would be friendly. That was my demand. I did not expect anybody to become friends. I just said you have to be courteous with each other, respect each other, and be friendly with each other. And that is what's required here for this to work. And I would always enforce that. So if somebody was getting an attitude, even if it was the cat, I would basically stop it. I would say, hey, or move them away or separate them or whatever. It would have been that basically changed that energy. I would have just stepped in and done that. And I think that's sometimes also something we forget, is when we make a demand about anything and then something shows up that maybe isn't working that way, we kind of sometimes go, oh, it'll work itself out, instead of really stepping in there. And it's not about overpowering or forcing the animals, but really to reinforce what you desire. He needed to really be part of our tribe. And at that point, I had 4 dogs. And I said, look, you came into a household with 4 dogs. I know one of them kills things. That's the one that brought you and didn't kill you. Obviously, you guys had a deal going, but I don't know about the other ones. I know Charlie doesn't kill cats, but he will chase if a cat is running. So I had no idea how this whole integration will work. And I said, you are a brave little cat coming into a household with 4 dogs. And now we go for walks and the dogs protect him and he walks with them, and it's just so fun.